The Chinese Communist Party has used this week's United Nations General Assembly to weaponize international institutions against the U.S. through propaganda. Our Washington correspondent Luis Adoro Martinez has more on the story.
It is still possible to limit global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees by century's end. And that requires reforming the international financial architecture to strengthen developing countries' participation. We need effective debt relief.
The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres applauded the Chinese Communist Party's commitment to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from 7 to 10% over the next decade. It's the first time ever the CCP has made such a commitment.
At extreme cost and expense, Europe reduced its own carbon footprint by 37%. Think of that. For all of that sacrifice and much more, it's been totally wiped out and then some by a global increase of 54%. Much of it coming from China.
China produces 30% of global greenhouse gas emissions, more than the top 10 economies combined. And it also holds around 15% of global foreign debt, which it uses to exert pressure on governments worldwide.
We're witnessing right now a systematic campaign against American energy. There is a coordinated assault by the radical left, backed and paid for by the Chinese Communist Party, to seize control of our courts, to weaponize litigation against U.S. energy producers.
The Chinese Communist Party announced this week as well that it will forgo the special treatment it receives at the World Trade Organization for its status as a developing nation, a status that the U.S. has criticized for years, as China is the world's second largest economy and not a developing nation.
Certainly, the unilateral actions of the U.S. have caused the most tremendous disruption to global trading rules that we've seen in 80 years. Yesterday, China announced that it would no longer have access to the preferences that a developing country member at the WTO has access to.
Despite its propagandistic announcements this week, the CCP remains the greatest threat to the U.S. and its democratic allies.
China is the most rapidly growing military and the most rapidly growing nuclear power in the world.
It's important to know that the Chinese Communist Party has refused to partake in any nuclear non-proliferation treaty with the United States or Russia. Reporting from Washington, D.C., Luis Eduardo Martinez, NTD News.